What's up, it's your boy Tarek Ali and welcome back to your boy's channel. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing great. I hope that you're feeling positive. I hope that you're feeling loved. I hope that you feel appreciated. I hope that you're just having a great day. So look, I want to jump right into this video, okay? Because I have a lot to talk about and this has been a highly anticipated video for a very long time. Pretty much we're going to be talking about sexuality and religion. And spirituality and everything in that realm, okay? It's so broad, but today I'm gonna cover a couple of things that has to do with my process, my journey, and then also answering a couple of questions from a lot of people out there that have different questions about being queer, being gay, and still being religious or whatever, or what have you. You read the title, you know what this video is about. I got my cross on, period. So yeah, let this title card run and we're gonna get right into it. Okay, so before we get started, please make sure that you hit the like and subscribe button and you press the bell to get notifications when I post. Make sure that in the comments you are sharing your experiences, your sexuality, and your religion because you never know, you may be helping someone also. And remember, I never say anything to be right, I just do it to start the conversation. So let's start that conversation in the comments, okay? No negativity. Okay, so let's start off here. Let me just start off with saying my sexuality. I am gay, okay? I'm a gay man. I identify as a male, so I'm cisgender. When it comes to religion, I don't really classify as a certain religion. I consider myself more spiritual than religious. I'm a perennialist. I'm most likely going to put the definition up here, but a perennialist is someone who believes that all of the religions pretty much have the same origin, meaning that I believe that honestly we've all came from the same higher power, and at the end of the day we're telling the same story but in different ways because of different storytellers. I just think it's all geography and like where you were born in society of that place. So what that pretty much means is I've gone to a temple, I've gone to a mosque, I go to church. Pretty much I take what I want. To be honest, I take what I want from each religion because honestly at the end of the day I think we're all praising the same thing or person. Just because you're Muslim and you're Christian, I don't feel like when we go up there you're gonna be like, oh, you didn't accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior, so you're not allowed in these gates. But if you were a good Muslim person all your life, or a good Buddhist person, or a good Hindu person all your life, and you were kind to people and you helped the community and things like that, I don't feel like our God would turn you away. Whatever the afterlife is, I feel like karma, the universe, whatever you want to call it, whatever you consider it in your view, I don't feel like it shuns people just because they are not following the right God. Because I could be born somewhere else in the world and I had no control over that. We don't have any control over the religion that we praise and we worship and we follow when we're born. We are given that from our parents, and I don't feel like we would be shunned or be treated differently because of that. But when people do ask, I say I'm a perennialist practicing Christian only because I was raised as a Christian. It's the one that comes to me the easiest. I feel the most comfortable. If I was to go to a place of worship, it would be a church the most comfortable. I know the process. I know the praise and worship, the benedict, all of that. I know everything about it. And I love praise and worship, and I just love black church. So that's pretty much why I'm a practicing Christian. But there are things that I love of different religions that I take from and I appreciate. I would consider myself pretty involved in the church growing up. I remember going to the church a lot. Like, you know, if it wasn't every week, it was every other week. My granddad was a preacher, so I was like considered a preacher's kid. We had to sit in the front row. But I never saw it as like something I didn't want to do that I was being forced to do. Knowing me now, I'm a creative person. I love the arts. I like to act. I love music. I love making videos. I loved the theatrics of the black church. I love the theatrics of it all. And you know, when it came to praise and worship, the yelling, the passion, the music, the singing, that's why I love the black church so much. I just felt like a lot of love at church growing up as a kid. It just felt like a place where everybody was family and, you know, we could sing together and we could just get through things together. And it's just a person at the front giving advice to everybody on how to get through life. And I'm using a book to do that. Now, when I started getting older and I was more of age where I could make decisions and people saw that my queerness, because I've always been queer, always been feminine, but as a toddler, they saw that as something as like he's going through a phase maybe. But once I started getting to middle school and things like that where I was making decisions on my life, they saw that more of he's choosing to be gay rather than to be a Christian. So I would say that is when I started to be being treated differently in the church or people saying smart, snarky things. Like, I remember somebody coming up to me in church and saying to me in front of my family, like my mom and my siblings, like, oh, hey, Tariq, you look great. You got a girlfriend yet? And it was very obvious. This was before I knew I was gay, and this was before I even came out. And like, I knew what she was doing because I was so feminine. I thought she was making a joke that I didn't have a girlfriend, but my mom took so offense to that because she knew what that was. I came out, well, I realized I was gay in 7th grade because I think this fight with you and your religion, you and your higher power, and your spirituality, I think that is a fight that you have with yourself first before you involve anyone else. And I think I started to have that fight when I first realized that I was gay. Now, I've always been queer, and I think I've always been gay because I was attracted to boys in elementary school, but I didn't know it was gay. You know what I mean? That's just how I felt. But in 7th grade, when I pinned it in my head and said, wow, I'm gay, like I'm into other guys, I'm not into girls. That's when the fight started to happen. And I, you know, just like every other gay person when they're starting to figure that out, you know that it's not right. In society, we've grown up, especially as a black man, people just always told me that that's not right. That's not what you want to do. You know, they say all the bad words, the F word and everything like that. Like, that's not good. You just know it's something that you don't want to be. There's something everybody makes fun of. So it started off with that. It started off with me not wanting to be the joke in every room. I don't want to be teased for the rest of my life because I know I was already teased in my life for being feminine. And people always called me gay my whole life, but I authentically used to say I'm not gay, but I authentically didn't think that I was gay. I didn't know what that was. I just knew that that was like a derogatory term, and I don't know why you're calling me that because I'm not that. I don't know what it is, but I ain't that. So when I realized that I was like, dang, like I'm gonna be treated like that for the rest of my life. So the first fight was just not wanting to be treated like that, but after that, I used to pray because something my mom always tells me whenever we talk, she was like, remember to say your prayers. I say my prayers every single night. I've said my prayers every single night for my entire life. And so I remember when I first figured it out and I told myself, yo, you're gay. I remember just going to sleep every night and there's like, you know, you have those 3 things that you say in every prayer. I don't know about y'all, but I used to. One of them was, I wish my mom could walk again because my mom is paraplegic. And one of them was, I wish I wasn't into guys. And the third one was, I wish I was skinny. Those were 3 things that I always used to put in my prayers every single night, and then I would add the rest at the end. Like, they would just become a part of the intro. But the crazy thing is, though, I never thought God hated me. You know what I mean? Like, I never thought that God hated me for who I was because in my head, I was just like, why would God hate me? He made me this way. I've just always thought that, like, God didn't make me knowing that I wouldn't be gay. God knows. He knew I was going to be gay, and I've always been like this. So I never saw it as like, oh, God is going to hate me, blah, 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 blah. I knew he didn't hate me, but I thought that God may have, like, thought a little lower of me. It's kind of like when your parents are disappointed in you, but they still love you. So I used to think like that. I used to think like God is disappointed, but he don't hate me. Because if he hated me, I don't think that I would be this blessed. Like, that's just how I thought. I'm doing well in life to be hated by God. I feel like if God really had a vendetta and hate for me or all gays, I don't think we would be here, hon. The way I think, I don't think that I would be this blessed, and I don't feel like he would let me to get this. He wouldn't let me get this close to him if he really hated me. And so this is when we really get into the conversation of religion versus spirituality, because this is when I started being gay and openly gay and getting confident in that, I grew away from religion in the church, but I didn't grow away from God. And I think that is the problem. I think a lot of people don't know how to separate being religious and being spiritual. You know what I mean? Like, those are 2 completely different things. Because I didn't like the way that gay people were talked about and treated in the church. Now look, I look at the church as a place for people who praise the same person to meet up and get advice and blah, 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 blah. This ain't somewhere I need to come. You know what I mean? The church is not somewhere I need to come to be a Christian. I don't need to go there, girl. I can do this at home. I can be my own preacher. I can read the Bible myself. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need this. You know what I mean? I always saw it as like a gym. You know, you don't need to go to the gym to get a banging body, boo. You can go to the beach and do push-ups on the street You can be in your house and do pull-ups on a, you know what I mean? Like, I never saw it as like a mandatory thing to be a Christian. I didn't like how toxic the church was. I didn't like how they talked about gay people. I didn't like how they talked about women who chose to sexualize their bodies, how they chose to sexualize their bodies, and how they don't have that same energy for men. I didn't like a lot of things about the church. It's just a lot of things of the church I didn't agree with. And it wasn't just that church or my granddad's church. I just didn't feel comfortable at a lot of churches, and I just didn't feel comfortable with the people in the church. And honestly, that's how being gay made me get closer to God, because pushing myself away from church forced me to make and build a relationship with God. Because I was going to a place to build a relationship with God, and I was getting it from someone else. Now, when I separated myself from that, I was forced to talk to God one-on-one and to do the work to build that relationship with my higher power. And that's why I always say being gay made me get closer to God. You know what I mean? Because also, being gay was my biggest roadblock in my life. It was so hard to accept it. It took years to accept it and to realize it and to be confident in it. And the only person who got me through that was my higher power, was God. And that's what made me closer to him, because without him, like, honestly, I've talked about it in other videos. I thought about suicide a lot, and the only reason I didn't do it was because of God. Because I sat down and I prayed and I said, help me understand this. I said, help me come to terms with this. Help me live with this. And he told me, you know, I made you this way. I didn't make you not knowing this was going to happen. I didn't make you this way so that you could die, so that you could take your life. Why would I waste my time like that? God told me, look, why would I waste my time making you? Why? Why would I do that? Why? He said, who said that? And I said, you know what, you make a lot of sense. And so he, you know, or she gave me the power to get through that. And that made me love. Like, never betray. Love my higher power so much. The fact that he gave me the strength to be comfortable with being black and gay in this world, in this country, living in Southern Virginia at the time, that made me believe God more than anything, because I did not want to be here. I didn't. I was in so much pain. Not only was I going through that, but I was also going through homelessness. I was going through obesity. Those three, God got me through that. And after that, I promised him. I said, look, I know you real. I might not know what you look like. I might not know if you a girl, boy, even human. Maybe you just a feeling in the sky. I don't know, but I am in debt to you. And it will forever be, because I owe you so much. He gave me the strength. And so that's really how I became so close with God. So now that I've told you my experience, that's really where I start to get into the advice of it all. Is I think a lot of people don't spend enough time to build a relationship with their higher power, with their God. And I think they're always looking to other people and the church, an entity, a group of people, to tell them how close they are. Nobody can tell you how close you are to God. Nobody can intercept your relationship with God. And I don't want to get preachery, girl, but let me tell you something. Your relationship with God is your relationship. He communicates with you differently than how he communicates with me. And that's a whole different conversation. I have a whole conversation on how God communicates to me. It may be in your dreams. It may be with symbols. It's many different ways. It may be, you may hear a voice. I'm not even joking right now. With me personally, God speaks to me in dreams and in symbolism. And there's many different instances where I've just had a serious conversation with God. And it just runs in my family. My granddad's a preacher, and he said it runs in the family. It always has. But I don't want to get into that, girl. You know what I mean? I ain't raving or nothing, but I be having some raving moments. I'm not even playing. But listen, your relationship with God is your relationship, and nobody can explain that to you. You can explain it to other people, just like people can explain who you are to you. Only you can explain that. Okay, they may have learned from observation, but on the inside, people only know what you share with them. Okay, and so don't ever let somebody tell you your relationship with God. If you want to get close to God, get close to God. If you feel that for you. Now, if you don't feel that for you, I can't speak for you. I can't project my feelings to you. That's something that you have to feel, and it's something that you have to want. Okay, and that's something I never want to do, is impose how I feel on other people and my relationship with God, because it's not the same for others. I don't know if, sorry girl, I'm fixing this wine bottle because I gotta put this cork in here before it oxidizes and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know if my relationship with God is stronger than yours, or if it's stronger with certain people, if he has bigger plans for certain people. I'm not God. I don't know that. All I know is I can tell my experience, and I can say that, girl, come on, girl. All I can say is my experience, and hopefully somebody can, you know, relate to that and build a relationship on their own. Because that was one of the questions. Somebody said, how do you reconcile being gay and being spiritual or being religious? One, again, I'm not religious. I'm spiritual, because I have a personal connection and conversation and relationship with my God. Being religious means that I would be living the religious way, meaning being a Christian, which is going to church, being in a ministry, doing certain things, reading the Bible, Bible study. I don't do any of that. Girl, I used to. I don't do any of that. Not talking down on it, you know, it would be nice, but like I just don't right now in my life. I feel very comfortable with how I am speaking to God and our relationship, and how much we talk, and how much I trust him, and how much I spread his word. Everything that I share is because of him. It's because he's given me that message. My positivity is because he's given me that strength and that mindset to be able to think through my traumas like that. All of this is through him. I'm just a vessel. He is sharing all of this. So that's my personal spiritual relationship. And religion, I think those are for people that want, that may need a little more guidance to find that relationship with God. If they can't do it on their own, they go to a church to talk to more people, or to talk to a preacher or a priest. Now, if you could do that on your own, I would say for gay people, you may have to do that on your own, because when you do go to a church, girl, I'm not getting into that, but they will try to deter you in certain ways. They will give you skewed advice because you are gay, and they may treat you differently. Now, this is not all churches. But I'm just saying, I'm speaking in a general sense. So someone said, why do you feel like you should support a religion that doesn't support you? See, when you look at it like that, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. People look at church and the people that are the gatekeepers of religion as God. They're not God. Literally, you have no say as to if I get into heaven, if there is a heaven. You know, you have no say. Girl, you just are the preacher. That's it. You're here to give the message. You didn't make the message. You are an assistant. You are an assistant, okay? So they may not support me, and, you know, people in the church may not support me, but that's their own narrative. That has nothing to do with my relationship with God. You can't hurt that. I don't look to other people for validations of any of my relationships in life, whether if it's with God or with my friends. That's with me and that person. That's me and God. I don't need you to tell me what it is. I don't care what you have to say what that is, because it's not your place, and you don't have no idea what God is saying to me. You have no idea what God's message is to me every single day. You have no idea what his plan was for me when he put me on this earth. You have no idea of that. You have no power at all. So nobody should ever be able to tell you your relationship. So when you ask me, why do I support a religion that doesn't support me? I don't support that religion. I support my God. And I support my relationship with my God and my spirituality. But religion is a whole different story. That comes with so much more to it, more than God. Religion is God and more. God and company. Spirituality is me and God. Okay, so that's pretty much it. You know, I could go on this topic for years, honestly. Once again, I want to remind people that, you know, the whole point of religion itself is to get you close to God and to have a relationship with God. So don't ever get confused. So I may personally have made strayed away from religion in the church because of my sexuality and everything that comes with that and how I'm treated, but my relationship with God has never been strained because of those people. Let me tell you something. The people in the church are going there for the same reason that you are going, okay? They're going there to get closer to God. So don't ever let somebody else deter you from your relationship with God, okay? That's your relationship. Nobody else can explain that to you. Don't ever be dependent on them for your connection with your higher power. I would say just don't get so caught up on that. Don't get caught up in the drama of the church. Who's talking about who thinks what about your sexuality? It doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, we're here to get close to God. I'm not here to get close to you. I don't care about Meredith, who make the nasty potato salad and says that I'm a faggot. I don't care. I don't care. You're not God, okay? And what you think is not gonna strain my relationship with my higher power, okay? You have no control in that, girl. You can't even put on a wig on, right? Why do you think I need you to help me with my relationship with God? I don't need you. I would like you guys to contribute in the comments, so please let me know what you think. Just have a conversation. I really want the conversation to be started. That's why I came in the first place, so please let us do that. My name is Tarek Ali. Thank you everybody for watching. Good night. Love all my tabies.